We know that 2020 was the year of skincare, but I really think that this year, 2021, was the year makeup made a comeback. So I am excited to share my favorite makeup items of 2021. Alright, so I know that I talk about skincare a lot on this channel, but I obviously love makeup too, and this year I felt like there were some really good makeup launches, so I thought it'd be fun to share some of my favorite makeup products that have launched this year. Obviously, there are lots of makeup items that I use that are not brand new, and if some of these were actually launched in 2020 and I just didn't realize it, please excuse me. But I think it's safe to say most of these products launched in 2021, and if not, they're at least new to me when I got them. So the first one I want to talk about is this collaboration between Buxom and Ash K. Holm. If you don't know who Ash K. Holm is, she is a celebrity makeup artist. She is gorgeous herself. On social media, she does some really great tutorials on herself, but she's also known for working on celebrities like the Kardashians. So she obviously knows what she is doing because say what you want about the Kardashians, they always have really great makeup. Anyway, so she went ahead and did a collaboration with Buxom Cosmetics, and I ended up loving this eyeshadow palette, which is a little bit out of the ordinary for me. It has a few bold colors, but when you look at this side of the palette, you can see that it has some neutrals in it, but they're a little bit more elevated, they're a little bit cooler and more interesting, and anytime I wear these eyeshadow colors, I get comments on social media all the time. What is on your eyes? What eyeshadow colors are you wearing? And it tends to be something in this palette. It's very user-friendly to me. It's also really pretty, and it also lays really well. Whenever you apply it to your eyes, I feel like you're not getting a lot of fallout. It's just easy to use. And I'd say the shades that I use the most are Unfiltered, Teddy, Stacks Living, and I like 1989. For a little pop. I just think orange eyeshadow can be really pretty, and it's not something that people think about using often. Unfiltered gives almost like a yellowish banana tone to your eyelid, but it's much prettier than that sounds, so I really like that color as a base. And then Rich Rich is beautiful as an eyeliner. You get 12 different colors in this palette. It's $39. It is limited edition. When I last checked before we shot this video, it was still available, but I can't guarantee it's gonna be available for a very long time. So if you haven't bought this already, I really think it's something that you should pick up because it's a beautiful palette. And actually, I'm gonna buy another one before this video goes up. Next up, you've heard me talk about this one a lot. It's the Dior Forever Skin Glow Foundation. This stuff is beautiful. It's medium to full coverage, so I reach for it when I feel like I need just a little bit more, but I still want to look really natural and glowy. It's really hydrating for the skin, which I tend to like. It gives it that nice, glowy, luminous look to your skin, but it's really natural looking. It doesn't look greasy. It is long lasting, which you don't always get with a glowy foundation. I feel like you either get glowy and it doesn't last a long time, or you get matte and it lasts a long time. So this one's right in the middle. If you don't like a glowy look, they also have a matte version of this, but for me, this is exactly what I look for in an everyday foundation. It also has SPF in it. It's SPF 35, which isn't really that big of a deal to me for my foundation. If you watch a lot of my content, you know that I don't think that makeup can be a replacement for your sunscreen. You would have to wear way too much makeup to be able to get the coverage that you need. But I do think it's nice to have sunscreen filters in your foundation because you are applying it on top of your sunscreen. So if you are moving that sunscreen around a little bit or even like breaking that shield that it creates, you're at least replacing it with sunscreen in those spots. It is a little bit pricey. It's $52 for a bottle, but it does last me a long time. I find I don't need a lot of it, and it does come in 38 different shades. All right, the next one actually surprised me. It's the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. It came in a PR package from NARS where they sent their soft matte foundations. So I was testing those out. I really like the soft matte foundation, but it's a little matte for my personal taste. I can see lots of people loving that foundation, but these concealers came in that PR package and I decided to give them a try. And even at that, I was like, these seem like they're a little bit intense, but then Nikki came over, and it is always when Nikki is here that I learn about my makeup, and she is the one that sold me on this. First off, it has some really nice skincare ingredients. It has peptides, hyaluronic acid, and vitamins A, C, and E, so it's a really nice formulation. It's full coverage, so it's not like my usual favorite concealers. I like the liquid ones that, you know, have a wand usually, and I use them around my eyes. I still use those around my eyes. I actually don't use this as my under eye concealer, but this one, because it is nice and matte and full coverage, it's also oil-free, it really stays in one spot, and that's something that Nikki has really taught me about the differences in concealers and the consistencies. This is the perfect one to spot conceal, and that's been a big deal for me because I keep getting this one pimple that will not go away. Every time I am about to start my period, I get this one pimple, and this has been the concealer that we've been using. And the reason for that is because when you apply it with a really small brush, it stays exactly there. It stays where you want it to stay. Whereas a liquid one, you put it on, say like a pimple, and it spreads out because it's a little bit liquidy. This one's also been great on areas like around my nose, where I tend to get really red from just like blowing my nose and wiping my nose. And then something recently that Nikki started doing on me with this is using it as my eyeshadow base, as like more of a primer. So she dabs this onto my eyelids before she does any of my eye makeup, and then she sets it lightly with powder, and it has really held my eye makeup in place. Next up, you've probably heard me talk about this because I have loved it so much. It is by Anastasia. It is their cream bronzer. It comes in 7 different tones, but I've been using the amber color and I love it. For me, it's been the perfect color between a bronzer and a contour, because when I'm doing my own makeup and I'm, you know, like getting ready for the day, I'm not really going to use a real contour and a real bronzer. I'm one of those people that just kind of wants to do one step. So this has been a really beautiful color for me. I've said this in other videos where I think it's very similar to the Chanel bronzer, the cream bronzer that they have in a tub, but it only comes in 2 different colors. And the color that I tend to use is a little bit more orangey, more of a bronzer, whereas this kind of walks the line of being a bronzer contour for me. And I also just love that it has more shades to choose from. The texture is really creamy, it's easy to use. I feel like you can layer it really nicely as well, so you can build up that color. And it has also lasted me a really long time. I use this every single day. At least 5 days a week you can find me using this, and it costs $35. So I think it's really, really worth it. Next up is the Blighlighter, which is made by Jamie Makeup, one of my favorite people in the entire world, Jamie Greenberg. She's a celebrity makeup artist and she just does some really great tutorials online, but she's really, honestly, the reason why I love Jamie so much is because she is the funniest, most joyous person I can ever spend my time with. I know anytime I'm gonna be around Jamie, I'm just gonna be so happy. She is a wonderful person, and she's also just really talented and knows makeup very well. These aren't brand new, but they're pretty new. I wanna say these are about maybe a year old, a little over a year old. It is blush meets highlighter, hence Blighlighter. And what they are cream blushes with a little bit of like a highlight action to them. They're very glossy on the skin, but very natural looking too. They have shea butter in them. They also have hyaluronic acid in them. So they're very hydrating for the skin and make it look really natural on the skin, but also kind of glistens, but not in a greasy way, in a very beautiful, natural way. Like you've just got this nice natural glow to your skin with color. And I find these to be very user-friendly. The colors are really pretty and you can use them either in a natural makeup look or in a full glam look. And that's what I think I really like about these the most. They're also just user-friendly. If you want to be like me and just use your fingers to apply your blush, you can do that with these. It comes in 5 different shades. This one that I'm holding is the cherry one. I also have the pink one. My favorite shade is the nude one, but I just ran out of it. I wish I could show it to you because it's like that perfect nude tone for lots of different skin tones. If you're looking for a new nude blush, that's the one to get. And then the one that I've been using lately is this one called the Penny one. The next one that I love is the Rare Beauty Light Liquid Luminizer Highlighter. So this is one of my favorite products from Rare Beauty. I've been trying a lot of the different products from this brand. This was sent to me in PR, so I actually don't think I would have purchased this. So I'm really glad that they sent this to me. Sometimes I feel like liquid highlighters can be really hard to use and they can, you know, like mess up your makeup if you apply them on top. But this one doesn't do that. This one is really versatile. This is the shade Mesmerize, which apparently is Selena's favorite. So we're like sisters now, or besties, something like that. It has kind of like a rose tone to it. It's not really golden. It's actually a little bit more of a cooler tone to it. And I like using this either mixed with a little bit of my foundation or even underneath my foundation for more of like a sheer glowy look. But this one also is really nice to just dab on top of your makeup. And it, like I said, does not break up your makeup. I'm wearing it right now here on like the tops of my cheekbones, and I think it just looks really pretty and natural and just gives you that perfect glow. It doesn't make you look like you're too youthful, I guess. And that's always my big thing when it comes to luminizers is I want to look like I'm younger. I don't want to look like I'm too young though, and it's not looking good on me. So this is a really beautiful one that I think can just be used on basically all ages. If you don't like a shade like this, it actually comes in 8 different shades and it's $22. Next up is a really interesting one. It is by Fenty. It is their Flyliner liquid eyeliner. And the reason why I like this is because of the color. Actually, I love the formula too and the way it glides on. Everything about it is really nice. But this comes in 2 colors. It comes in black, but it also comes in this brown shade. It's water resistant. I haven't at all experienced it, you know, like transferring or even moving, even if my eyes water up. It's really nice. It comes in this really nice sleek pen as well. It's thin, so it's really easy to hold. It actually feels like it's a pen. And it has this beautiful felt tip to it that just kind of is easy to glide with. It's, you know, like in some ways it's just really simple, but it's a beautiful, really pigmented and saturated liquid, and it is very nice when it glides on. And this brown color is beautiful. It's just brown enough to really pull off a cat eye with it, but it's light enough, like it's brown enough, I guess, to look more natural and really pretty. If you're interested in picking this up, it comes in this brown color. It also comes in black if you're more traditional, and it's $22. The next one is also an eyeliner. It's by Revlon. This is the Color Stay Micro Hyper Precision Gel Eyeliner. And I've been talking about this all year because it basically replaced my really expensive Hourglass eyeliner. Don't get me wrong, I bought that a couple of times just to like see, just to go back and test it out. But I feel like considering how often I go through eyeliners, I really think it's not worth it. Like it's just not worth spending all that money when you can get something like this. And when I say that it's, you know, like it's just not worth the price to pay more for the expensive eyeliner, it's like half the price, which the other one is like 18 bucks. This one is $8.99. Like in the grand scheme of things, that doesn't sound like that much more money, but it is, because with the Hourglass eyeliner that I'm always raving about, I finish that one so quickly. Like sometimes I'll finish that in less than a month. It goes so fast whenever I'm using it. And sometimes it runs out without you knowing it. So you're like working on one eye and then you move to the second eye and you're like, oh gosh, I am out of eyeliner. So you always have to have a backup with it too. But with this one, it's more of your traditional type of retractable liner. So you can see how much eyeliner you have left. The other one you cannot. So I think that's also one of the big pros for me. But really at the end of the day, it serves the same purpose that the other eyeliner does for me. It is this beautiful dark brown color. It glides on beautifully. It lasts a long time. It's a very fine point. So it hits just all the marks that I'm looking for with this type of an eyeliner. Like I said, I like the brown color. There are 2 other colors. There is black and there's also beige, but this is just a really solid eyeliner. The next one is mascara. This is from Ilia. It is the Fullest Volume Mascara, which is not my usual kind of mascara because I tend to like lengthening mascaras more, but I decided to give this a try because one of my favorite mascaras of all time is also by Ilia. So when this launched, I was actually really excited to try it out. This one is really nice because it also has vitamin B5 in it, which is really nourishing for your lashes. And I think that's something that we don't always think about, is how our lashes are kind of taking a beating by getting curled, and you know, we're using all our mascara on it and then washing it off, wearing lashes, all the things that I do at least. So it's nice to know that there's some conditioning aspect to it. It also has this really cool shape to the brush. It's almost like an hourglass shape, but it's not too distinct. It's really nice because you get all of the lashes, and it actually does give a lot of volume and fullness to your lashes, but it's also really good at lengthening your lashes as well. So I think this is a really nice, just all around mascara. It's not too wet, it's not too dry, it's just right. It's $28. I actually think it's a great price for this. I'm about to get a new one because it's so good, and I didn't experience any type of flaking or smudging with it. It's just a really nice, solid mascara. Next up is for my brows, and it's a combination I've been talking about a lot, 2 different brands. One is from Kosas and one is from Maybelline. This is the Kosas Air Brow in Clear. I love to use this as the base for my brows because it's really conditioning for my eyebrows. I put this on after I've got my foundation on, and then I go in and I do the rest of my makeup. So it kind of sets the tone for my overall look too, like it frames my face. I'm able to brush up my brows, make sure that they stay in place, but they're not super crispy and hard looking. It's really nourishing for my brows, but it also actually holds them in place. It just doesn't have any color to it. So what I do is I put this on after I've got like my foundation on and I do the rest of my makeup. This really holds my brows in place while I'm doing my makeup. So it almost like sets the tone for my makeup look. It frames my face, it frames my eye area, and I can see that my brows are brushed up and they're not, you know, just all over the place. They actually look like they're groomed. So I wear this first and then I do the rest of my makeup. And just when I'm going to finish up my makeup, I go in with this one from Maybelline. It's the Brow Fast Sculpt Gel Mascara. I use the color Soft Brown, and I love this stuff. I mean, if you were to have to choose between these, I'd go with this one because you get color with this one, but this is a really nice base for it. It's almost like priming your brows. That's exactly what it is. I'm like priming my brows with this, and then I go in and finish my brows with this one. So it gives my brows a little bit of a crispy touch to them, which I tend to like. If you don't like crispy brows, you do not want to do this combination, but it makes them a little bit more crispy, holds them in place, and this deposits color. And I think that's why they really work well together, is you're getting that clear base and then you're getting a little bit of color on top of it. If you're curious why I'm not just using the tinted Kosas Brow Gel, I'd say that it doesn't give me enough hold. That's probably what it is for me. Like, this one gives me just enough hold, but then I have to go in with this one to really get it crispy. I know other people love using the tinted ones too. So if you don't like crispy, you can actually just buy this in a different shade instead of clear, but I like it in clear. I also love that it's conditioning for my brows as the base. So this one is beautiful and clear, and then I go in with this one. So I like a little 1-2 punch. If you're interested in it, the Kosas is $22 and then the Maybelline is like $7.99. Next up is the Danessa Myricks Evolution Setting Powder. I made the mistake of getting the shade 1, the pure white, which just kind of online, I wasn't thinking, I was just placing lots of orders. I did not realize this was going to be a pure white shade. I actually thought this was going to be more of like your translucent type of powder, but I'd ordered it and it was done, so I start to use it and play with it. This pure white is nice for highlighting your under eye area or anything like that. It does have like a translucent look to it, but what I thought was really interesting is that it comes in 7 different shades. So obviously I chose the most uninteresting shade of all of them, but it comes in different tones. So if you are a person of color, you have any kind of melanin in your skin, there are different tones to choose from, which I don't think that we see a lot when it comes to setting powders. Usually they're just translucent setting powders. So this one is really interesting to me. It's a really super fine powder, and what I like about it is that it helps to really reduce that shine. You see that shine immediately go away, but it also still looks really natural on the skin. It gives that skin blurring effect, and your skin just looks smoother in general. This is not a new brand, and Danessa Myricks has been a well-known celebrity makeup artist for a long time, but she did recently launch this brand in Sephora, so you can pick this up for $24. And then last, everyone always asks about the lipsticks and lip liners that I'm using, specifically the lip liners, and I feel like I don't talk about them enough. So there have been a couple of newer ones that I've been using lately. One is from Lawless. This is the Forget the Filler Definer Liner. It's $21. It comes in 4 different shades. Ooh, this one's not sharpened at all. This shade is Pink Sand, and I find that I reach for this one a lot. I think it's really nice the way it glides onto your lips, and that's a big one for me, is just kind of the glide on. If it doesn't glide on really easily and you have to warm it up, I probably won't use it too often. This one glides on really nicely, very smooth, and the color is very pretty too. It's a nice pink nude type of shade, and I always just want to wear lip liners like that underneath my lipstick because 1, it makes the lip color just last longer, but 2, I feel like it really defines my lips, especially if I'm wearing these pinky nude shades of lipstick. I don't want to look like I have no color at all to my skin. You want to have that dimension. I think that's really important with these types of tones. And it's also $21, which I think is actually a really great price for a smooth lip liner like this. I'm telling you, it makes such a huge difference if you're not tugging at your lips when you're trying to put it on. It comes in 4 different shades as well, but like I said, this one is Pink Sand. It's the one I reach for the most. Another lip liner that I'm not sure is new, but it's new to me, is by Gucci. It's the Crayon Contour Lip Liner. This color is nude, and these are $33, so they're a little bit more expensive. It comes in 6 different shades, but I also feel like these glide on so nicely onto the lips. This one has more of like a true nude tone to it, like more of a brownish undertone or a beige undertone to it. So I use this when I'm wearing a nude color that's not so pink. So those were my favorite makeup items of 2021. Like I said, there are other makeup products that I obviously have been using for a long time that didn't make it into this video. These were newer products that either launched this year or they were just newer to me this year in 2021, and I found myself using them all the time, so I wanted to share them with you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. Share any of your favorite 2021 makeup launches because I'm always interested in knowing what everybody else is using. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm at Susan Yara, and I'll talk to you soon.